Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Firewolf Tech.
What's up, everybody? This is Furious Tech Reviews. How are you folks doing tonight?
Okay, so, hey, Mrs. Green Thumb, how you doing? What's up, Ruby Lopez Vlogs? Ruby is new in here. Let me get my camera working
Welcome,
here.
Ruby.
I gotta get my
And welcome,
camera.
Miss Green Thumb. Welcome, Mrs. Green Thumb. It's good to see you here. It's always good to see people here. Even though it's late, guys, this is actually a first collab between my new channel and Firewolf Tech's channel.
Okay, so, hey, still in Wood Riders. We got Cup Stacker in the chat. What's up,
What's up,
Kimberly
Dice
Ferris?
Golden? What's up, Kimberly Ferris?
Okay, so guys, as you guys may know, there is one particular device we're going to talk about, and we're going to give our opinions on it. Um, and also, guys, just to let you know, I thought of this. Furious Tech Reviews does not know this yet, but if you guys want us to talk about another device as well, um, if you want an opinion on a device you're thinking about getting, or if you're thinking about getting a certain device, and we'll give our opinions on it.
Yes. Yes, we will.
But so guys, as far as
And the device we are going to be talking about tonight is the Moto G7 Power.
yes,
It was one of the newest Motorola phones of the year 2019.
mm-hmm,
It came out in February of last year.
yep, it came out February 7th, 2019.
It has a 3 gigabyte, 3 gigabytes of RAM.
Mm-hmm. And the display is 6.2 inches, and it's got 1570 by
Is a
720
1520 by
megapixels.
720.
Yep. And on the back, okay, now to talk about the cameras here, this phone has got really good cameras to it. Because on the back, it's a single camera on the back. It's got a 12 megapixel camera, and the front camera, the front selfie camera, is 8 megapixels. See right here, that's the 12 megapixel camera right here on the back, and that's the 8 on the front. So, uh, well, do you have background feedback? Well, do you have background feedback?
Do what?
I said, do you have background feedback?
No. I have everything turned down.
Okay, so guys, no, Cup Stacker, it is not an iPhone. It's an Android device. It's called the Motorola G7 Power. Also, the other thing I want to talk about it is the battery. The battery, it's got a massive, beefy 5,000 milliamp hour battery. And I'll tell you, that is a good battery, in my opinion. And Furious Tech, if you,
Yes.
whenever I get done saying what I have to say about the battery, you can say whatever you want afterwards about that. Um, Basically, you can do a response on what I said and what you agree on and what you don't. So the 5,000 milliamp hour battery in this device, since I've used it,
All right.
I mean, it with moderate usage, I would say it would last a little over a day. But if you're a light user of it, it would last you a long time. Um, Me personally, this battery has been really good. It's with the usage I have, I usually get a little over a day's worth. Um, but depending on, you know, how much you use the phone, that depends on how long the battery will last. But the battery is really good in this phone. It gives you a lot of talk time. You can, and it's definitely uh, a very
Yes.
content friendly device as far as watching YouTube, all that. So that's why it's a good content type device because it's got a really big beefy battery. So that way you can watch YouTube videos as much as you want without it, you know, running down too quick. Like some of these other devices that have like 3,000 milliamp hours or 2,500 milliamp hours or anything below that. So, Furious Tech, you can go ahead and say what you need to say on it and respond to what I've said.
Okay. And Maximilian, it is the G7 Power. It's not the G7 Play. The G7 Play and the G7 Power are two totally different. Are different in their own ways. The G7 Play is more for like people that want to use it for mobile gaming and active play, like doing activities on uh, like your daily routines. The G7 Power is more for like your talk, text, some data. Um, I will say the battery on the G7 Power is a little when you start doing like your big gaming apps like Call of Duty Mobile or the bigger apps like that, it will drain the battery quicker than most of these newer batteries. So the G7 Power is not really meant to be under very strenuous activity as online mobile gaming, in my
Oh,
opinion, because I've tried multiple different like Pokemon Go, Wizards United. Those will drain the battery quick.
and I just wanted to bring up with this device also, I've actually played Call of Duty on it, and it does amazing. You know, it runs a lot better and a lot faster when you're playing a game like Call of Duty. Make sure you close out everything else and just running that. Because if you're running other apps within the RAM space, it will drain the battery a lot faster. Because if you have a bunch of things open, it's going to drain it a lot faster. Because the game that is already being played with Call of Duty, it will already
Yes.
drain the battery bad as it is. But you can't. Here's my advice though, you could always do the battery saver feature where the phone will cut down on some of the other background data that's running, so that way it will preserve the battery power a lot longer.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, see, that's why I had to switch because to my phones because I will say also do not. And I've learned this from my own mistakes. Do not talk. Do not use your phone, texting, or any apps while the phone is on the charger
Yep,
because it will fry the battery.
yep. And yes, and it will. Dakota, we're talking about the Moto G7 Power and giving our opinions. That's pretty much what we're doing. But anybody else that's in the chat, um, anybody that's in the chat, if you want us to talk about a device you're thinking about getting, or if you want us to give our opinions on a device that you're getting or that you got, just let us know in the chat and we will be gladly to talk about that device. We'll be glad
Yes.
to help you make a right decision and give our opinions. Because technically we can't, make a decision for you, but we can give our opinions in hoping that this will help you make your decision.
Yeah. And with also the G7 Power, it has a fingerprint scanner for added security for your apps. So, like if you have your bank account, Cash App, PayPal, or any app that you want extra security on, you can have it set to one fingerprint, and that's your fingerprint, and no one else can enter those apps without your fingerprint.
Okay, Furious Tech, we got somebody in the chat. Maximilian says, I want an opinion on a device. Okay, Maximilian, what device is that you're wanting an
Okay, Max.
opinion on? But also, I do want to say this also. This the next part of the device we're talking about, the next section, I want to talk about the hardware. So, as I've mentioned earlier, um, guys, you
Yes.
know what RAM is. RAM of a phone is different from, you know, RAM is different from the internal space, which means the 32 gigs that comes on the device, the 3 gigabytes of RAM or whatever, how much RAM, um, the RAM controls on what how much it controls how much things could be running in the phone at one time. Um, so this device has a Qualcomm Snapdragon
Okay.
632 chipset, and this phone has 3 gigabytes of RAM, which 3 gigabytes of RAM is plenty for me. I mean, just me personally, but for you guys, you might need to get a device that might have like 4 gigabytes of RAM or higher. Um, but 3 gigabytes, if 3 gigabytes of RAM is enough for you, then I would recommend this device. Okay, so Maximilian says the Sony Xperia.
Okay,
So,
the Sony Xperia has if you're movies, TV shows, and gaming on your phone, the Sony Xperia XZ3 is getting on a bit. It's a little pricey for what you're wanting. It's roughly $950 per phone.
yep,
It features the XZ3. It has a 6-inch HDR OLED display with a QHD plus resolution, which means it's going to have high quality graphics. But you got to also make sure those graphics are worth the price that you're paying for.
yes. And the Sony Xperia, I don't know if this is the same
I mean, with a
device.
6 inch, with the,
I don't know if this is the same
with,
device
yeah, there's like
specifically.
the XZ3 and the Xperia One.
Well, I'm looking at a Sony Xperia.
Well,
Um,
let's see which one is.
which
Sorry, my internet.
Xperia is it, Maximilian?
because you got the Xperia One and the ZX3.
Because the one I'm looking at is the one.
Yeah, the one I was reading about was the ZX3.
Okay, the Xperia
Okay, the
One.
one,
That's what I've
the
got.
Xperia One.
Okay, so apparently, this device, from what I'm looking at here, it's got a 4K HDR OLED display, which it's got really good. It's got a really good screen on it. It sounds like it would have very good graphics, and it sounds like the screen would be really crisp and clear. Um, it's got a triple lens camera system with a 2 times optical zoom and wide angle lens, which means you'll be able to take really good pictures with it and get really high quality pictures. And you can video record in up to 4K. It's got cinematic Dolby Atmos sound, and it's got a battery capacity of 3,330 milliamp hours. Um, from that perspective, I think the phone would be really good in battery, but also I would be careful on how you use it because I mean, yes, the battery is really beefy and stuff, but you got to think of the high quality screen and, like, all the high quality stuff that's on the phone, and the way it is set up. Um, I would, keep in mind on, you know, how you use the phone, because a 3,330 milliamp hour battery can drain a lot faster, um, compared to the G7 Power. For the simple fact it's got a smaller battery capacity. Um, but as far as that, that's a good
Yeah,
phone for that. But also, this phone is water resistant, so that is good
and I
if
also
you
want
get it
to
wet.
mention the kind of glass it's got as well.
But the phone is water resistant, so it would be good for that. If like
Yeah,
if your phone gets water on it, it won't get water damage that easily because it is water resistant. And you can have up to 2 SIM cards in this device. This is the unlocked version I believe I'm looking at. Um, and from what I'm looking
and
at,
it's
they got
also
like
got
a
a dual SIM hybrid where you can have two SIMs in it.
yeah, and the two different colors they have is like a it's like a midnight black color and a bluish purple color. Um, so that's, I mean, I would say overall, um, I would say the overall review of this device,
Mm,
this phone, this phone, I would consider. I mean, this device is a good device, but I would also look into other devices as well because this phone is $950. It is 900. It's got a $950 price tag, but I would also like look into other phones as well within that price range because there is other devices that does have better, quality to it, and it also has they got also got other phones within that price range, um, that has a bigger battery to it as well. Um, to me, if I get a phone, I
yes.
want to get the beefiest, the biggest battery that I can get with a phone that has good specs and it runs good and it has a lot of RAM and a lot of space. That's what I look for in a phone when I buy
Yes.
one.
And as well with the I mean it's got Gorilla 6 glass, but it may be water resistant, dust resistant and all that, but there's always some way that it will get underneath that screen and ruin the screen easily.
Yeah, and
Even the slightest drop and causing the slightest crack in that Gorilla 6 glass
go ahead.
can ruin it. And that's all I got right there.
But Maximilian, I would say overall, um, if you are thinking if this is the device that you're wanting, I'm not saying the Sony Xperia is a bad device because I know it's not, but um, I would definitely keep that phone in mind if I was you. Um, but if it was me, I would definitely look into some other devices. Like they even got Galaxy phones, Samsung Galaxy phones that are within that price range that has better specs and it has better hardware to it, and they run a lot more smoothly as well. So um, if it was me, I would, keep that device in mind, but I would also, do research on some other devices within that price range. Um, I would be looking for the biggest battery that I could get because you want to be able to play on your phone and do what you need to do on your phone, while you are using it. You want it to last as long as possible. And the bigger the battery, the longer the phone will stay charged.
Exactly.
Hey, break time, coffee time. What's up? Welcome to the Firewolf Tech team here.
Yes, and I will say that the Sony Xperia One ain't is not a bad phone because I will say Sony does make some good quality products.
Yes, they do.
Take example for PlayStation Portable,
Mm-hmm.
their their PlayStations.
Mm-hmm.
Those things are high quality, but for a Xperia One phone, I honestly don't think it might be worth the $950 if the battery capacity was a little bit higher. But for 3,330 milliamp hours, I don't think it's honestly worth the $950.
Yeah, and that's what I meant by, saying that I would also explore other devices within that price range, to see if there was a bigger battery. That's why I was mentioning that. I would also explore other devices within that price range. Like personally, the I think the next best brand to me besides Sony, I think the Samsung Galaxy phones are the top because they got. I mean, Samsung makes the top of the line smartphones, the Android smartphones in the mobile device field. They got really good processing power and all that, and the Galaxies are really, really, really good. The top of the line. That's in my opinion. But don't get me wrong. I'm not throwing LG under the bus. I'm not throwing any other company under the bus. I'm not throwing Motorola under the bus because every company makes good quality products. It just some manufacturers like Alcatel or ZTE or
Yeah,
something like that. I wouldn't recommend them. I would actually recommend like going to like Motorola or Samsung, or I mean LG is good. Um, but I would definitely explore into other flagship
yeah,
devices within that price range. Um, for the simple fact, you want the best, battery life
because
out
we're
of the
also
device.
exactly, and with this all this coming up, like Motorola is now just getting ready to release their new flagship phone this month,
Hmm.
which is the Motorola Edge Plus.
Yes, and that device is beefy, beefy, beefy. It's a powerhouse.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah. Mhm.
I'm going to warn you, the price is going to be up there. They're trying to compete with all these bigger companies because Motorola is a little bit behind on the technology that these like big well-known companies like Samsung, Apple, and all of them have already been up to date on.
Maximilian says Motorola, Sony, and Samsung are my favorites. Apple has failed me in so many ways. Yeah, see, Apple, I have the iPhone 6 Plus right here, and I don't even hardly use it. I
I
don't.
I will agree with you on that, Maximilian. Apple has. So, I'm not dogging it, but I want to let Apple know that they have a few glitches in their system that needs to be fixed a little bit before they come out with the next device. Before they actually have all the bugs fixed, worked out.
Hmm.
I'm also going to say that Samsung also had a little bit of an issue with one of their phones before they actually tested everything. I think you know exactly which phone I'm talking about that had so many recalls on it that was completely taken off the shelf.
Yeah, and Maximilian, I do the same thing. I pay for performance, but Maximilian, you got to pay. Yeah, you might pay for performance, but when it just in my opinion, yes, I do pay for performance as well. I always like a really fast phone, but at the same time, I would like to have a beefy battery for the longest. I want a device that would last long for the battery. I want like I want a battery that can handle all the processing power and that can, handle the high quality performance. You got to have, in my opinion, you got to have a big beefy battery for the more better the performance is, the better the graphics are and the faster the phone is, the bigger the battery needs to be.
Exactly. And then also you got to think about like what service are you going to be using?
Mhm.
You got to make sure those services are strong enough in your area. So
Mhm.
like let's say you have AT&T. Like I have on my Motorola I have AT&T, which in this area does not get very good service
Right.
at all. Because every time I go into the store with the Motorola, and I have AT&T, it cuts out when uh, it should be able to go through the walls and the building to pick up the signal still. But every time, it's always cut out on me, or in the middle of the house, it will cut service on me no matter what. because you got to think that so many people are running off these towers.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have enough towers out there to actually bring a broad spectrum of the service to everybody.
Well, this is the thing. I there guys, and yes, I'm giving Metro by T-Mobile a shout out right here on this panel. Um, right now, I do want to give Metro by T-Mobile a
Yes.
shout out. Your guys, your service is amazing. I've never had. Uh, I got this. Your services are amazing. Um, even though you got really good deals on devices, you got really good devices that you're selling, and you give really good deals, and you got really good plans. Um, I mean, this device right here, the Moto G7, this is what the G7 would be running off of. Um, but just overall, guys, if you want a good company and a good company where they give you good deals and they give you really good coverage, really great customer service, I would recommend Metro by T-Mobile.
Yes. Because let me tell you, every time you pay your bill, all the taxes and fees are included. You pay a basic flat rate price for your plans.
Yep.
And that's what I like about Metro. Like, let's say you get the $50 plan every month, $50 flat straight out. No added taxes, no added fees. It's all included. And when they say unlimited talk, text, and data, they actually mean unlimited talk, text, and data.
Well, Maximilian,
And
regarding,
then with the $50 plan, you get the 50.
go ahead, Will.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. But yeah, um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, and I also think that with the $50 plan, you get 15 gigabytes of hotspot or 10. Which one was it?
I'm sorry, what was you saying? I was kind of zoning out a little bit. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. But with the $50 Metro by T-Mobile plan,
Mm-hmm.
you get unlimited talk, text, and data,
Mm-hmm.
true unlimited. And then with the hotspot, you get, I think it's either 10 or 15 gigs of hotspot.
There's one thing that I want to mention that Maximilian said, I trust Sprint. T-Mobile has limited networking. T-Mobile has the best price. Well, see, Maximilian, here's the thing. Sprint is owned by T-Mobile now because they just went through a merger process. Um, so I wouldn't,
Yes, exactly.
even though T-Mobile has really good coverage, I would not I would not, I wouldn't recommend using the actual T-Mobile for a good reason because their plans, I mean, they got good devices and stuff, but their plans are expensive.
Very expensive.
And that's why I would recommend um I don't know too much about Simple Mobile, but I know they run off of T-Mobile and I know they would get good service, but I don't know too much about them. Metro by T-Mobile is one of the best options to go with right now. Um, Also, Walmart Family Mobile runs off of T-Mobile. I've used them before, and their service is really good, but their customer service is like that. But I would definitely recommend Metro by T-Mobile because
Eh,
that's Metro by T-Mobile is the best option to go with because they always have port-in deals when you switch your number from another company over, and that excludes T-Mobile. That excludes T-Mobile brand companies. So if you're like on Cricket, AT&T, Verizon, or Sprint or anything like that, you can port your number over to them and get a really good deal on a device. That's what they do, and their customer service is amazing.
yes. See, yeah, and I also want to say that I have switched from AT&T to Metro by T-Mobile, and I'm going to say I have had more good experiences already within the first few days of having Metro compared to AT&T within the first few days of having it.
Hmm.
Because I hardly ever lose signal. I hardly ever lose my battery lasts a lot longer. And then also, like if you want to download stuff, their data, like when you use their data, it's quick. It is quick to like you can have a app updated within like one to two 1.5 to 2 minutes done.
Maximilian says I use
And
about
also with the AT&T, their plans they oh go ahead. Go ahead.
no. Well, you was talking before me. You go ahead.
Okay. Also with the AT&T plans, they may say true unlimited. They may say unlimited data, but they will only give you so much high speed data, and then they'll cut it back and slow down your data speed.
Hmm. And to actually, I know with AT&T prepaid, if you want the true, uh, we're just going to continue. So with AT&T prepaid, if you want if you want true unlimited data with them, they charge you $85 a month for that. When at Metro by T-Mobile, you can get that for $50 and get hotspot and get Google One. And check this out, guys. On the $60 plan, you get unlimited calling, texting, unlimited LTE, and you get Google One storage up to 200 gigabytes, and you get the Amazon Prime, which is I think is a heck of a deal. Amazon Prime, you get 2 day shipping, you get to watch
Yeah, cause,
movies, TV shows. I mean, guys, I'm telling you, Metro by T-Mobile is the company to go with.
yes, exactly. Because I will say, my wife actually has Amazon Prime, and that way, since we can't get out and actually go out and see movies or watch, or we can't get a TV show, Amazon Prime has it.
Hmm.
And when something like Metro by T-Mobile provides free access to Amazon Prime, when you get their $60 plan, that is going to come in so much help. Like if you want like say you have more technology that you want to use for like your YouTube videos, photography, and you need that shipped quick. You have Amazon Prime, you could have that within 2 to 3 business days instead of waiting 7 to 10 business days for it to get there.
Hmm. Because I'm telling you guys, Metro by T-Mobile gives you a lot of perks. They give you a lot of good deals and perks and discounts. Um,
Got it.
all right, we're not going to pay no attention to the negative people. So we're just going to keep on going with the stream.
All right, you take care, Maximilian. Good meeting you too.
Yeah,
And you're
maximum.
welcome on the advice.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
So, does anybody else have a device they want us to talk about, or something that they're looking into,
I
or they already
mean,
have and they want some more info on it?
it could be anything from a company, like information on a company you're thinking about going to, or it could be a device. It could be about a specific plan at any company, or it could be anything related to that.
Yes. Let's see. Like, I will say this. I didn't think that I'm going to give a little bit of opinion on the first few days of me having this new phone. Since my old phone, I messed up on by playing it, playing the games on it while it was charging, talking and texting while it was charging. Other than that, um, I've had even before I even had the problems with the phone, it was still glitching a little bit. But with this, pardon me,
Yes, guys, just
but
bear with him.
with the with the
Hey, White Wolf.
Samsung Galaxy A10e, I've had so many good things out of this because I will say there's another thing. I can't even get the Call of Duty Mobile to work on my Motorola G7 Power that well because where I had AT&T on it, it would kill my data, kill it. Hold on, I gotta take care of my cat though.
So yeah, guys, just bear with him. He's having to deal with his cats because his cats like to scratch and make a lot of racket. Okay, White Wolf, I'll definitely do that. But so yeah, guys, it can be anything. Um, if you want to ask a question about any company that you're thinking about going to or anything like that. Yes, guys, to any of my moderators, um, if you see any trolls come in the chat, just ban them. If you see any trolls, I'm saying that to all my mods that are here.
Okay, now where was I at?
You was talking about AT&T, I think.
Oh yeah, with game playing on the Motorola G7 Power and having AT&T prepaid, it's a little bit of an issue because where they don't have true unlimited data with their plans, you can't constantly game without it killing your high speed data real quick. And once that cutoff hits, it cuts you out of your game and it starts lagging. You can't keep up with people online. And Call of Duty Mobile is strictly an online multiplayer game. So with the Samsung Galaxy A10e through Metro by T-Mobile with the actual true unlimited $50 plan with the is it 10 gigs of high speed data?
You talking about the hotspot?
Yeah, the hotspot.
It's 5 gigs.
Okay, the 5 gigs. Okay, and I'm able to game and actually play my Call of Duty Mobile almost flawlessly. But I mean, you're gonna have I mean, with any game, you're gonna have a little bit of lag. But I mean, other than that, that's actually the best plan I've ever had, in my opinion, is Metro by T-Mobile.
Hmm.
So if you guys want to, in my opinion, that Metro is the best way to go. Uh, I think Firewolf actually has my channel link uh, copied, so he could possibly put it in the chat
All right, let me
unless he
go.
needs it again.
I'm gonna get it now.
Look who just came in the chat.
Mm-hmm. I see her. Definitely see her.
Hello, Jax.
Guys, if you want to go subscribe to Jax, make sure
Oh,
you go and check her out.
but Jax, I know the wife was supposed to call you and text you and message you, but she just wasn't feeling too good, so she completely forgot about it. Tomorrow she will definitely message you
And check her out.
and call you. Where's Nobel?
And you two are YouTube famous. Come here.
Hey, Will, can you type in the chat so that way I can click on your name?
So let me. There we go. Come here. Come here, Snowbell. Come here, baby girl. Come here. People want to see you.
Okay, I don't know why, but I just clicked on your name and it went to straight to a troll account. Try
What?
try it again.
YouTube might be glitching.
YouTube might be glitching.
It still did.
Go to Messenger and click the name,
That's what I'm doing.
or click the. I gotta take care of Snowbell real quick.
All right, guys, give me 1 second. I'll put the link to his channel in the chat. All right, give me 1 second here. There's his channel right there, guys. So yeah, guys. Yes, we will have haters to come in here. So to all my mods that are in my chat right now, if you see any trolls in the chat or anything, anybody stirring up crap, um, just ban them. If you see a troll, make sure you ban them. So yeah, guys, this is Furious Tech Reviews channel. Um, so anybody got a question about a device or a question about a phone company or anything tech related? You can you can ask the question in the chat, and me and Furious Tech will try to answer your question to the best of our ability. Give me 1 second, guys. But guys, whenever Furious gets back, I'm gonna take me a quick break, because I gotta step away for a minute. I don't want to leave the stream silent, so um, but guys, like I said earlier in the stream, that Metro by T-Mobile is the company to go with. Um, I wouldn't recommend. Um, I would recommend any company that gives good deals, but the best one to go with, in my opinion, is Metro by T-Mobile, because they give you really good deals on devices. They give you a good deal on plans, and they give you good customer service and all that. And I would always recommend Metro by T-Mobile. So whenever Furious Tech Reviews comes back, I will um, be taking a quick break. Uh, so anybody, um, but guys, like I said, anybody that has any questions tech related, if it could be about a particular phone company, the plans they have, the deals they have, the devices they have. Your iPhone 11 is green screening. Is that like an error you're getting on your phone, White Wolf?
Okay, let me look that up real quick for you there, White Wolf. Why you're getting a green screening iPhone 11 green screen?
Okay, so I was gonna so White Wolf, a green screening is This is I'm looking on this.
Is it like green lines that you're getting appear like you're that's appearing like when you take photos?
I've never heard of that.
That might be the digitizer, to be honest. That could be a digitizer problem or an LCD problem. It could I mean it could be anything going on with the screen.
Honestly, either or, you might not have to get your phone taken.
You might have to get your phone taken in to get it professionally repaired. It might need a new total new digitizer because that means that there might be a short somewhere or a disconnection
Uh,
between the motherboard and the
I
screen.
let me say this. Say White Wolf. It might not be your device, but in particular, it could be the person that you're talking to is having that problem. Um, but also,
Yeah,
if it only happened with one person, um, it could be just because of their phone doing that, or if it is your
yeah,
phone, um, it could be a software-based issue. It's not necessarily
yeah.
like
I didn't think
it's not necessarily like a hardware issue. It could. It sounds like to me, since it only happens in FaceTime, it could be a software-based issue.
I didn't think of
Thing
that.
is,
I did not think of that,
thing
Bob.
is, they'd have to send it into Apple to get it fixed or get her a new
But
phone.
if it is a software problem, you still would have to get it sent in. Yeah, if it's just your phone, it could be a software issue, which means that it might need to be sent in to get fixed. Because if you try to solve a software problem with by yourself, it could ruin the
People
phone.
need to learn the phone,
Well,
iPhones.
all
Because
sometimes, see, with the iPhones, to fix a software issue, most of the time that requires like a hard reset. But
oh yeah,
if an Android phone is doing that, it's really easy to do it. But iPhones, they're a little different when it comes to that kind of stuff,
yeah,
because most of the time
yeah, they're a little bit more tricky.
yeah, most of the time it would be, iPhones are a little complicated to deal with that kind of problem because most of the majority of the time, Apple would probably just tell you to reset the phone, and if that doesn't work, then you
Yeah,
know, I mean, I would, get Apple's. Um, I would definitely get Apple's,
opinion.
opinion and advice on it, and also don't hesitate to go into your company's store, which is Sprint, I believe it is. I would go to your home Sprint store where you got the phone at and show them the problem, and they would also be able to, help you out as well.
Don't even.
Okay, the iPhone 10. Nice, Dakota.
Well, Furious, do you want to tell them about the iPhone that I did have, the most recent one,
Which one was that?
the 10R?
Oh, the 10R. Um, I mean, I think you said it was actually decent.
It was a good.
It was a good. It was a good phone, but it's just that.
It was the company that it was on that made the phone worthless to me.
Yeah, it was the company that he was on through with the iPhone 10R uh, with Cricket. I believe that's what it was, right?
Yeah, Cricket Wireless.
Yeah, Cricket Wireless. Let me tell you guys. I mean, they have good services, but their customer service is right down the drain.
That's the weakest link.
That is their biggest, weakest link is the customer service. Like, it takes them 10, no, half an hour to an hour for you to get a hold of somebody, and then when you tell them their problem, then they put you back on hold multiple times. And most of the time, the problem never gets solved.
And while I take a
With
break,
Cricket Wireless.
while I take a quick break, will you tell them about my experience with cricket recently and what about that guy and what's going on? Tell them the whole situation, and I'll be listening in on the phone.
Okay. And if you do, if I mess up a little bit, just message in the chat and correct me.
Okay, I will. I'll be right back.
All right. I'm going to turn off my camera for right now because I'm going to do something off camera that I don't want on this channel. That's not. I don't want to promote something that's not for kids, and it's a bad habit. I'll just say that. It's a habit that you don't want to start. But with Cricket Wireless, I'll say this. Chris, Firewolf Tech, recently went to get my wife a phone. Since she can't get out and get a phone on her own, because it's hard to get out when we don't have a car and we have nobody that will help us out without giving them gas money. Well, he goes into the store and asks if he can get her phone, and he was wanting to get it on his own plan by himself. So they go through the transaction and everything. He gets home about
10, maybe half an hour later.
About a half an hour later, and he goes and checks the status on the bill and all that on the website, and he comes to find out that while he was there, the district manager that was there decides to put him on his plan without even telling him. So he goes back up there and calmly asks, why was he put on his plan? And supposedly it was to save him money from paying full price for the phone, which actually goes against company policy. Because you're supposed to tell your customer exactly everything that you're doing for their plan. Exactly. Because we also don't have that much, and with our situation, the money is not always there. And they come to find out, he calls customer service. And you normally never hear this come out of a customer service representative's mouth. We decide that where he was doing all this shade, to us it seems shady for him adding Chris to his plan. And so we go and call customer service through Cricket Wireless to figure out what's going on and to report this. And not only did he do this, but it was like, come to find out, every time he would go to the local gas station there, near where he lives, the dude that did all this would be there at the same time. And he would be up all in Chris's space while Chris is doing something off to the side. Like he went and got a couple scratch offs, wasn't it? I think he went to get a couple scratch offs and to scratch off in memory of Donna. And this dude, the district manager from Cricket Wireless, was there and up all in his space. So they decide to call customer service reps and report it. Well, they were talking, they put the report in, and then all of a sudden I hear out of the customer service representative's mouth that this wasn't the first incident that they've heard. That they've been getting multiple reports from this district manager from that particular store. And then also, what made it also shady is that when Chris went to return the phone back, he couldn't return the phone because the district manager said that they were under investigation for having so many returns. When we all know that if you get a phone and within less than an hour of talk time on a phone, in less than a week, you can return the phone. That's with any phone service, I believe. If you have less than an hour of talk time on your phone, you can return it. So that raised a question, Mark.
Don't forget to tell them what he called me.
And then he also, I'm not going to say the word on here, but he goes without knowing my wife, saying and calling her a so-called vindictive bee. I'm not going to say the word, but without knowing her, he calls her that, but he does it in a subtle way. But Chris picked up on it. Okay, White Wolf. But yeah. So they make the report. The report was made, and an investigation was underway. So about the next day, wasn't it?
No, I think it was the same day.
It was either the next day or the same day. Oh yeah, and he also gave Chris all the accessories for free. When you know that in a phone store you have to pay for extra accessories for the phone. That's how the company makes their money. You can't just give things away for free, because you'll be losing profit. You'll be losing a lot of money. I forgot about that, Chris. Thank you for reminding me. But yeah, he did that, and which was also against the store policy and company policy as well. So investigation was underway, and I think it was either the next day or the same day that they made the report. He was relieved of his duties from that store as district manager.
For the time being.
For the time being. Until the investigation was over.
They come to a final conclusion of what they should do.
And then until they come to a final conclusion on what they should do about him. Because they have seen a lot of red flags so far. But they're going into further investigation on those red flags. Because you know some people will try to hide that stuff. But Chris has all the evidence of the receipts and everything in case he tries to hide stuff from them. So that's why, and then that cost Cricket Wireless two customers. Two. Because I think she was actually willing to give Cricket a chance. My wife was actually willing to give Cricket a chance. But after all this happened, she doesn't want nothing to do with Cricket. She don't want to give them any money. Fire, you've super chatted yourself. But yeah. But yeah, to be honest, Cricket Wireless, I mean, it's good service. It's a good service to have, but the customer service representatives is their fatal flaw. And it's not, in my honest opinion, Cricket Wireless is not worth getting. Yes, they are a prepaid service, but with this, you also have to have, with any service, you have to have an equal balance between the plans and the customer service. If you have a good balance between that, you're going to have more people coming to your company and paying more money, because pretty soon people will actually want to upgrade their plans to have more accessories in their plan, like extra hotspot data, the Amazon Prime. People will be willing to buy more for their buck. But with Cricket Wireless, they also have good phones, but sometimes they overcharge for the phones. Because some of these older phones, they still have marked up over $100. They're maybe like 2-3 years old, I believe. Sometimes. There's some places we've seen flip phones. Of all things, a flip phone for $100. Why would you spend $100 on a flip phone? Now, I can understand a smartphone that has a touch screen and everything being $100, but a flip phone that just has a dial pad? Now, it must. In order for it to be $100, it's got to be having some sort of high quality software in it that we might not know about, but I doubt it. Hold on, folks. But yeah, but other than that, I still think the best way to go is Metro by T-Mobile. Because my wife had Straight Talk. She had a few problems out of Straight Talk.
First and foremost, the refurbished phones suck.
Plus, they're like with Straight Talk, they sell a lot of refurbished phones. And let me tell you, folks.
And also the data.
And with the data,
all the time on any kind of live stream.
And it's hard for her to get. It was hard for her to get on any live streams on YouTube or anything like that because their data was so whacked out. Like they say, True Unlimited as well for their plans. No, you get so much high speed and then they cut you back. They're the same way as AT&T. Ha! Joshua's got it right. Cricket Wireless, more like pickpocket wireless.
And they hire thugs.
Huh?
And they hire people that are not good with customer service.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I actually like. I mean, I've had Cricket before. I mean, they also have some very spotty cell service areas as well. But yes, that is true. That is also true, Chris. Cricket also makes you pay for the manufacturer price for the device up front and in full before the service can. You got to pay for the phone, the activation service fee,
And your minutes.
and your minutes. So that's a lot of money. Like a phone that would normally cost maybe $120 would cost you almost $200 after the taxes, fees, manufacturer price, and your minutes. That, in my honest opinion, is not worth it. Because you also get shitty customer service for your service that you have. But yeah. Anybody got a like tech question that they want to have answered, like any cell service that they are thinking about going to, or any device that you want me to go into more detail about? Because I mean, I'll do my best to answer the questions. If I don't know much on it, I'll look it up. But other than that, I mean, in my honest opinion, the G7 Power is actually worth it as long as you don't do anything that can ruin the battery in it or the software. And another thing that I forgot to mention about the G7 Power is that it's also a sealed phone, which means that it has a battery that is non-removable without taking the phone completely apart. And if you get any water damage inside the phone, it's more than likely going to have water damage permanently. No matter the amount of rice that you put it in, that water is going to possibly just stay in that phone. Now, with the phones that have the removable battery, you have more chance of saving because you're able to take it apart, put each piece into it. Let me see what Chris said here. Oh yeah, and with wireless plans on Cricket, they do have caps on your streaming speeds and all that. You do have a slower connection speed compared to any other service out there. Your download speed caps at 3 megabits per second, and the streaming caps off at 1.5 megabits per second, 1.5 megabits. per second, which is not very good if you want to do like your YouTube streaming or wanting to watch any videos. Because once those caps are met, anytime that you go over it, I think you actually have to pay an additional fee over the caps you have, which is extra money that you had to fork out of your pocket, which is not worth it. It's kind of like how I'm gonna use this as an example. HughesNet Internet used to have a data cap for their internet, and then when you went over that data cap, you'd have to pay additional charges for every megabit or megabyte that you went over. I can't remember exactly how much they used to charge per megabit that you went over, but it was, I mean, megabytes that you went over, but it was quite a bit that would bring your bill up quite a bit. Maybe Chris, you might remember exactly how much they used to pay, that you would used to have to pay for every megabyte you were over on the data cap for HughesNet, because I know you used to have it. But in my honest opinion, HughesNet at the time wasn't worth it. But now they don't have no data cap for their internet. But their internet is still very bad. It only has 3 megabits per second upload. Well, hold on. Let me make sure on this. $25 down, 3 up. Yeah, 25 down, 25 megabits per second download speed with 3 megabits per second upload, which is not very good if you're wanting to do like live streaming games. If you want to do online gaming, you can't do it. Well, thank you for stopping by, Master Paradise. I appreciate it. But yeah, other than that, with the HughesNet, in my honest opinion, HughesNet Internet is not worth the money you're paying for. Yeah, right. 24-month minimum contract. Yeah, a 2-year contract, isn't it, honey? Yep, 2-year contract before you can ever get out of it. And if you try to get out of the contract before the 2 years are up, in order for them to cut the service and take it out, it's going to cost you $400 just to cancel the contract. You take care of Master Paradise. But yeah. And I'm going to tell you right now, nobody's going to want to pay the $400 to get out of a contract. Most people are going to just stick with the 2-year contract, and once the 2-year contract is up, then they get it out of there because it's hardly going to cost anything to get it out.
All right, I'm back.
because all right, yeah, me and the wife actually have HughesNet, and that's how I know that to get out of the contract, it is $400.
I
So
mean,
we've been stuck with the 25 down and 3 up.
yeah, and pretty much what I've said about HughesNet. The cons. Um, the reason why I think those are the cons because I've actually had HughesNet years ago, and they they I mean they have low data caps for one. They have high equipment cost, which costs a lot of money,
Yes.
and their services are more expensive than other internet options like Spectrum and Comcast. I mean, there's a lot cheaper
And
options, cheaper,
Windstream.
better options, and
Yeah, and it's no longer
and
Stream
they'll keep
anymore.
you. HughesNet will keep you in a 2-year contract, so that means you'll be stuck with it for 2 years minimum.
Yep. And see, also with Windstream, it's no longer Windstream anymore because they had quite a few stores or quite a few places actually went bankrupt with Windstream. Windstream has basically started going down because of Spectrum and all that. Because people are getting better service for their buck with Spectrum compared to Windstream. But is there anything else you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, I pretty much said everything I needed to say. I ain't really got nothing else to talk about.
Okay. So, what is your final opinions on the Moto G7 Power?
Well, my final things to say about the Moto G7 Power. Is it worth buying in 2020? I would say yes, depending on your needs. Um, I would just say overall, yes, I would recommend buying this phone in 2020 because it's got 5,000 milliamp hours for the battery. It's got a big battery. It's got it's got good hardware. It's got a good quality screen. It's got a loudspeaker. It's got good cameras, and you know, I I would say yes, it is worth buying in 2020. That's my personal preference, but I would say overall,
Okay.
it is a good phone to have in this time and day and age.
Yeah. So, I will agree with you on certain things. Like you mentioned the speaker. The only thing I don't like about the speaker is that it comes out the earpiece. Like if you're in the middle of a call and you accidentally leave a video in the background playing, you're not going to be able to hear the person on the phone talking.
Hmm.
That's one of my drawbacks with the Moto G7 Power, in my opinion, is that they need to have a separate speaker that's not in the same area as the earpiece. I mean, I know they were trying to save space and everything, but it's not worth it having a speaker and an earpiece next to each other because it will contradict. Like if you were in a call with somebody because you won't be able to hear them, and it will blow out the earpiece and the speaker a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And also, like if you get any dust or anything in the mic system and you try to get it out, you're just going to push that dust and everything up into the mic more, and it's going to push on that, and the mic won't be able to work. So they need to have like some sort of protection with that, like maybe make the mic hole a little bit smaller, where hardly any dust can get into it, or have a separate screen that you can brush off on the outside that will protect the internals. But I still think it would be worth buying in 2020 if you're looking for, depending on your needs that you want out of a phone. I mean, it's worth. I mean, it worked for the 6 months I had it, but like I said, a couple of the drawbacks was the mic not being able to be cleaned out, the speaker and the earpiece being together, and then also being a non-removable battery phone. Because if you have, like I said, if you had water damage in it, most of that water is going to stay inside that phone. And most of the time, when you have water damage, you want to take the phone apart. Those are a couple.
Yes,
and those are a couple of my drawbacks.
Yes, and there is one thing that I do agree with you on is, with the phone being, you know, with it having a non-removable battery, I think they need to start, making the batteries where they're accessible so you could take the back off and take the battery out. I think that would
Yes.
be a lot better option, and also I think that would cut costs down as well.
Yeah. Because in order, like with the Moto G7 power, in order to access the battery, you literally have to loosen up the adhesive on the screen in order to get to the internals.
And see, well, and here's another drawback that I have, like with the phone having a. All right, good night, Dakota. But like I was saying, one of the drawbacks that I have with the phone, with the battery being a permanently sealed battery, you have a SIM tray, just say if your phone is messed up and you have a new phone, and if you want to take your SIM card out and micro SD card to put it into the new phone, it's a hassle of trying to get to it because you have to have either a paperclip or a SIM card ejection tool, which not everybody has. And
That is another good point.
I think
Yep.
Motorola,
Because I even had.
I think these tech companies need to change it to where the battery and the SIM card and the memory card are accessible by removing the back off and making it accessible.
Yes, you're right. Because not like when you first sent me the Motorola, I didn't have a paper clip or anything to eject the SIM slash SD card tray. And I had to improvise by using a Christmas ornament hook as an ejection tool.
And see, and I think that's the reason why that some people get frustrated with them kind of phones because I mean like it's I mean it's to me it's just a big hassle of trying to get everything out and stuff like that and not only that you're taking a big risk of damaging the SIM card tray when you take it out because that thing is freaking brittle and fragile.
Oh, it is. It's very. It's like a. It's like I'd say about less than a millimeter thick.
So
And
if
that thing,
I
if you barely put any pressure on it, will snap, and then you're out of a phone.
and see and if I had to say anything, if I was able to if I had LG, Motorola, Samsung, and everything, and all the tech companies in my chat right now listening, this is what I would say. Motorola, all you phone manufacturers, please make it to where the phone please make it to where you can take the back off and be able to access the battery and making it easier for us to be able to access all the internals without having to go through the hassle of removing the adhesive from the front screen just to repair the phone. Like I mean, like, come on now, like, make it a lot easier on us, the consumer. Please make it easier on us.
Because that's going to cost more money to get the adhesive to replace. And then I will say that most of us people are so used to how we used to take our phones apart back when the phones had the removable back. We're just so used to having the easy access to our SIM card, our SD cards, our batteries, in case we actually had some water damage. That way, if we did get another phone, we could just easily take out the SIM card and the micro SD card and just put it in a brand new phone and put the backing right back on. Those days of those kind of phones made it so much easier on us. And most of the time, if you had the same phone and you saved that battery, you could have a backup battery just in case.
Okay, so
If that battery
Will,
wasn't working.
what would you say to Motorola, LG, Samsung, and all these other tech companies that make these high-end phones and make these phones? What would you say to them about these phones that they're making that have a concealed battery in it, like it's a permanently sealed battery?
It's like what you said. Please make it more easier on us consumers. That way, we would actually buy more phones. That way, um, we could just remove the whole internals and actually access. Like if we needed to take part the screen, still we had access to the connector from the motherboard to the screen in case we had to replace it. I mean, we still have to remove the adhesive, but the connector to the screen would be easier to access.
Well, see,
Like
here's
if
the
we
thing,
like
Will. See, here's the thing, Will. Even with even if you get a professional to take your phone apart to get it repaired, your phone is still at risk of being damaged. The ribbon cables inside,
yes,
all that is very 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 sensitive parts of the phone.
yeah, like I'm gonna say like if we tried with this Motorola to try to get to the internals, most people would go through with the tool and would actually accidentally sever that screen ribbon, the screen connector ribbon, and then they're out of a phone, and that screen's going to cost maybe $20-30 to replace, plus
And
the adhesive.
And sometimes it costs a lot more than that.
Yeah, depending on the phone that you have. Like, let's say you have an iPhone, and that front glass piece or the front screen is going to cost you about $400 or $500
And at that point, you might as well buy
just
a
to
new
replace.
phone. I mean, you might as well buy a new phone.
Exactly. Yeah, because you can get a brand new phone for $400 to $500
Mm-hmm.
and not worry about having to get that replaced. That's where another drawback of having Apple is the pieces to replace each part of the iPhone cost more than the phone itself.
Well, see, well, here's another problem I have with Apple. The Their batteries are sealed in too, and for you to get to the battery, you have to take the phone apart. You have to disassemble the phone.
Yeah, I don't think I don't even remember a iPhone ever having a removable battery.
No, and Will, you can tell everybody in the chat that I used to be that person where I had to repair phones, and I know what I'm talking about when it comes to these phones and stuff. When it
Yeah.
comes to repairing them and how sensitive the parts are, tell them that I have a
Oh
lot
yeah.
of good background on that.
I will say yes, because he used to actually have a bigger tech channel than this channel he has now, and that's all he would do is show how to repair phones, the internals, and everything like that. And the most phones he had the problem of repairing was Apple, the iPhones, because one small mess up and you've got that whole back panel shattered. The whole front screen shattered. It once false move and you could shatter each piece of that phone and it'd be worth more to replace it than the phone is worth.
And see, well, and here's another drawback with the newer iPhones. I think I think Apple, like, I get the concept they're trying to go all wireless, but there's a
Yeah,
drawback to that. See, there's a drawback to that because there's going to be people that cannot buy a wireless charger. There's people that can't just go out and buy
exactly.
Bluetooth headphones that are expensive as hell. I mean, like, they would be that would literally mess up the iPhone line if they took the charger port away, and they already done took away the friggin' headphone jack. And there's people out there that can't even afford a Bluetooth
And
headphones.
yeah, like, and here soon, I think in the next iPhone, they're actually taking away the charge port.
And that's going to be a big time
But
drawback.
I'm not for sure. Oh yeah, because let me tell you, a wireless. Let me see here. A wireless iPhone charger.
I think it's like around $99, maybe.
A wireless iPhone charger. Uh, well, I mean, you could get any kind of charger. It can range from anywhere from like $20 to $30 plus.
And see, and there's people out there that can't afford that because they got bills to
No,
pay. I mean, I'm sure when they get a new iPhone, I'm sure most people out there that have an iPhone, they're putting it on a payment plan because they're so freaking expensive.
exactly. It's not worth it. And now these other companies that are seeing Apple do this, they're trying to follow in their footsteps. But you got Motorola, LG, Samsung. Please don't follow behind them and go completely wireless because now Samsung is starting to have this the Galaxy Pods, the wireless earbuds. Or maybe they had that idea already, and just Apple went ahead and put them out there. But please stay away from the completely wireless charging, because from a consumer's perspective, me and my wife cannot afford 30 plus $20 to $30 for a wireless charger. And a wireless charger can only work if it's plugged in. And sometimes the housing, like the older housings, have faulty wiring that cannot withstand having too much on the circuits. Because believe me, we've actually had quite a few problems with the wiring in our house. Because we actually had I'm not gonna lie on this. We actually had my wife won a barbershop kit off of Instagram, and they had a powerful hair dryer, and it blew the circuit 3 times just by how powerful it was. That's because the wiring in our house cannot withstand so much being put on the circuits.
Well, Carnage, I understand that, but you got to think of it like this, man. See, just take this for example. Phones from back then, they wasn't expensive. I mean, they were expensive, but they wasn't nowhere near expensive
But
like
not
they are now.
no. Like I was telling them that we found an actual old flip phone for $100.
Mm-hmm.
And I said that for a phone a flip phone to be $100, there must be some sort of software or something in that phone that we don't know about that's making it worth that. Which I doubt.
But I'm gonna be honest here, like there's even smartphones out there. You can get a smartphone brand new, a really good one, for way less than that, or just at that price. If I was getting a phone,
Like
if I was getting a phone, I would not be paying $100 for a flip phone. I'd be paying me $100 for a smartphone.
because like at dollar store you can get a brand new smartphone for like $60. Maybe at least $60 at dollar store for a smartphone. And I mean it's an Alcatel, but I mean that's actually pretty good for a smartphone for being only $60.
And see, guys, and that just goes back to what
But
I was
again,
saying. That just goes back to what I was saying about Metro by T-Mobile. You port your number over, you get a really good smartphone for less than $100. Some of them they do cost over a little over $100, but you get a really great, good quality device, and you get a really good deal. And that's
oh
why,
yeah,
and that's why I do not recommend going to T-Mobile, because, like I said, their plans are expensive and their devices are expensive. They overprice their devices, just like we was talking about a flip phone that was $100. That was on T-Mobile's website. Not worth it.
mm-hmm, mm-mm, not one bit. So let's see. What do you guys want us to do a tech review on next? You guys can leave it in the chat that are live right now. And if you're on the replay, definitely leave a comment down below on what device you want us to do a tech review on next. So with that being said, you ready to get out of here, Firewolf?
Yep, I ain't got nothing else to talk about.
Alrighty. This is Furious Tech Reviews. Stay positive. Keep that positive mental attitude out in the real world. And we will see you guys on the next one. Go ahead, bub.
And this is Firewolf Tech, leader of the Fire Nation. Remember, guys, to always stay lit, stay chill, stay positive, guys, and keep howling. Just keep positive, keep on howling, and just keep on doing what you're doing, and stay, like I said, stay lit, stay chill, stay positive. You guys have a good night.
Take care, folks.